Podcast.
Welcome to another edition of This Random Podcast. I'm your host, Enzo.
And I'm Rick Sanchez.
All right, let's jump right into it. So today's question is, could you survive a zombie apocalypse? Could you, Rick?
That's a good question. Could we survive?
For how long would you survive?
All right. Well, it starts. Okay, so how long could I survive a zombie apocalypse alone or with my family?
Alone.
All right. It just becomes a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right. I don't know. That's a great question. Okay, let me ask you a question again.
Okay.
Keep asking questions here. There's going to be a Freudian experiment.
All right.
Was my family alive before, or I've never had a family?
Oh boy. Let's try both.
Okay.
So first of all, if you didn't have a family.
I think I can do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and the reason I say that is, okay, so let's bring up the premise of a zombie. So the zombie is a person that used to exist, like us, a sentient being that was alive and well, but now they're dead, but their body is still moving, but there's no brain activity.
Yeah.
And the only thing they want to do is, I believe a lot of the premises are that they want brains. They want to eat the person's brains.
Yeah.
And, yeah, wow, okay. Let's rewind this clock. How long have zombie movies been around? I mean, there's a lot of iterations.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of iterations of what happens. But as far as I was looking around, as far as I can find, I think it was like 1968. I think 1968 is when that genre started to become bigger.
Okay.
Even though I think there was one in 1943, but 1968 is when the genre actually started to take off. I remember back in the day, there was a movie. I think it was... Oh, maybe my family, if they're listening, can correct me. There was a movie called Night of the Living Dead or Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
It's one of the two. And the zombies would come out, and all they knew how to say was brains. They'd go, brains, brains. And, yeah, of course, you know, being kids, we'd sit there and watch this movie, and, yeah, you'd get freaked out. I mean, you look at it now, and you're like, man, these effects suck. Uh-huh. But, you know, it's like you're a kid
right.
back then,
yeah.
You know, watching it on VHS, and you were freaked out.
Yeah.
And I remember my brother one time, he hid in the room, and they were very pale, and he painted his face, he painted his lips red, and he put like powder on his face, made himself look really pale. And my cousin walked in, she screams like crazy, and he walked in, and all she did was jump out from behind the bed and scream brains. And oh man, I think she even pissed on herself. I don't remember.
Wow. Okay. So, all right. So you think you could do it by yourself?
Yeah, I think I can.
So what's the difference if you've had a family but they died?
Okay, so why am I bringing that up? Okay, so if I've never had a family, I guess if if I didn't have a family at all, I wouldn't have to worry about my family being a zombie, because I don't know, even if my wife or my kids or my mother became a zombie and is coming after me, I don't know if I can shoot her.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I mean,
I don't think I'd have a problem with that. That's probably because I don't have a wife. No, just kidding. No, but
well, on a bad day I may shoot her.
No, but it's not them anymore. It's like there's no conscience or whatsoever. It's just the body.
And maybe
I guess it's because the idea of you seeing the body being damaged. And it's a body that you know and you care for?
Yeah, and that's my point.
Right.
I think that's kind of like what gets me. But what you said is so true. Maybe that is why they wanted brains, because they don't have any anymore. And the brain is what makes us us.
Maybe that's the only instinct left that they have to become, I guess, someone again. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think zombies think. And I actually never thought about this. But if zombies think, maybe that's the way they see a solution to have a conscience again.
Okay.
You know?
Getting
a brain.
So I know that they're coming out. I think I saw something about... No, not I think. I know I saw something about... what's the movie, Will Smith? I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Okay, they're coming out with a part 2.
They are?
Yeah, and he's in it.
Yo, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, and of course. So there's two. There's an alternate ending where Robert Neville makes it. And there's one where he doesn't make it. And I believe that the one that we saw in the theaters, he didn't make it. At least the
Okay.
one that I saw in the theaters. And then there's like in the DVD, like there was an alternate ending where he actually does make it. He makes it to the compound with the Brazilian lady and the kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So in that movie, you see that he actually finds a way
To cure.
You see them like start regressing, like from the.
So the zombies in that movie kind of have a conscience.
They do because they even work collectively,
Right.
and one of them is still in love.
Yeah.
See, that's where it gets me. So what if, like, my mom's actually just coming to give me a
Oh,
hug?
so are you saying, what if you could eventually find a cure?
Do you lose hope?
So now that you said that, I thought about something really interesting. Let's say you don't want to kill them. You find a way to keep them somewhere safe, but you don't want them to die, so you gotta feed them.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you gotta feed them because they're gonna die, I think, of hunger. I don't think they can just stay there for years or months until we find a cure. Okay?
Oh, it depends on the movie that you watch, but yeah, okay.
Okay. So, if you've seen What If from Marvel,
Okay.
there's an episode, a zombie apocalypse episode.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And spoiler alert, if you don't want to, if you want to watch this and you want to get spoilers, just skip this part. So, there's this part where, Vision, he's trying to cure Wanda.
Right.
And so he's feeding her people. And that's how I think Black Panther dies or loses his leg or something.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly
Yeah,
how it goes.
but I think one of the heroes thinks Black Panther, he loses a part of his body because he was feeding her. So if you want to do that, you gotta go through that horrible process of killing people yeah.
That's a tough one, man.
It is.
That's a tough one. Okay. I always like to make this dark, or not dark, at least, for us today, think about something. But I actually feel like we've created somewhat of a society of zombies today.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Okay. So back in the day, when things were normal in my, backyard, if you will,
Okay.
when I was younger, I remember my mom would always tell us, "Man, it looks like you shut off your brain when you're watching TV." You would sit there and watch a show, and my mom would come in and be like, "Hey, could you do this? Hey, like almost like have to scream at you and grab the control or stand in front of you." So you're like, "Mom, get out of the way! I'm watching TV." Because your brain is so entertained. But once she got you away from that TV, you would go and do what you needed to, and then you'd come back and sit down, watch your show 30, 40, an hour later, whatever.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, real quick, I do see that at work when I'm waiting tables and there's like a family, a couple kids, and they're like on their phone and I'm bringing the food or whatever and I'm talking to them and the parents are like, hey, he's talking to you. And they're like, it takes them like 5 seconds to like come back to the real world because they're like on their phone or watching something, iPad, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, let's see. I want a Sprite,
You're talking about the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I even noticed that it happens to even adults. And what I was coming to was, it used to be just with the TV. Nowadays, our phone is constantly with us.
Yeah.
And I guess we're not brain dead because we're looking at a device, but we're not communicating with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I don't know about you, but sometimes I find myself doing stuff on my phone that I don't even notice that I'm doing. Let's say I just open Instagram and start like scrolling. And then after a couple of minutes, like, wait, when did I start doing this? Mm-hmm. It's kind of, you didn't live those moments. Your brain's just not there or anywhere.
It just became a function of your body, almost like breathing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you always do
it's kind of like a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
Like a muscle reaction or whatever. Because you're not even there. You're not doing anything.
Would you say that's a sort of addiction, or would you say it's just a reaction?
Whew.
Why do we?
I think it's a symptom of an addiction.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
yeah. Because I know that when we try to find information or we try to find things that make us laugh or happy or whatever we're looking for, we can find it on that phone. You can find it on the internet, and the internet is direct. I mean, the phone is a direct access to the internet.
Yeah.
So there's a certain amount of dopamine that gets released when you do something that you want. I want to go play volleyball. You play volleyball. It's like, you're tired, but it feels good.
Right.
Well, the phone's instant gratification. And it's crazy. I was looking out. I started thinking, how many phones are in the world? How many smartphones? Not just phones. There are today, 2021, I think this was taken in the middle. This was actually Ericsson and the Radicati group said that there are 6.37 billion phones in the world.
Okay.
Smartphones. And we have almost 8 billion. So without doing, just doing math here on top of our head, it's around it's close to 80%.
Yeah.
80% of the world has phones.
Right.
And I would venture to say that a lot of the people who don't have phones or don't have smartphones at least could be the older crowd, because I see kids with smartphones in their hands.
Yeah.
I see people in the streets that don't, they're begging for food with smartphones.
True. Okay, I haven't seen that, but sure.
No, the United States, we have a program to get everybody a phone.
Okay, so over here, even the poor have phones, dude. Wow, okay. That's a first world country right there.
Well, I mean, I guess in our countries, in South America,
but
they just...
Isn't there like a plan or something? A government plan or whatever, so people can have phones? Like homeless people?
Not homeless, just less fortunate. Let's call it that way.
Okay.
It's not necessarily homeless. If you just don't have you don't
people that struggle financially.
Income. What's that?
People that struggle financially.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like if you don't meet a certain income, then you can have a phone.
Oh, okay.
You have access to a phone, so because everybody needs the internet,
Right.
So I was thinking wow, that's crazy. How can we? We're constantly communicating with people, and that's what always gets me. Like, we're communicating with people miles from us in another country. We're paying attention to the world that has nothing to do with anything that's around us many times. We're watching videos from people all over the world, but we're not paying attention to what's 5 feet in front of us, 2 feet in front of us, our own community. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's where I say, okay, are we living in a world of zombies where we're just not paying attention to what's happening?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because is our brain shutting off enough? Are we just walking around like, hey, because zombies walk, zombies need to eat.
Yeah.
Zombies, they have some function, bodily function, but how much is actually working up there and actually intentionally doing something? Like you said, it's a great point. Are you just opening that phone just because it's a knee-jerk reaction of, shoot, I got the phone in my hand. Let me.
Yeah.
And you recognize it. How many people do it? I'm telling you, I sit around people and of all ages, mainly the younger crowd, but of all ages, we'll be sitting there talking, and somebody just grabs their phone and starts looking at it. And I'm like, back in the day, for me, if you're talking to somebody...
It's like we lose interest like this.
Yeah, exactly. Your attention span is so short.
Right.
And at least for us, it's equivalent to saying, okay, we're sitting here at this conversation right now. We're doing this podcast, and I get up and just walk out. You're gonna be like, yo, what are you doing?
It's kind of like we were trying to be entertained the whole time. It's like, all right, I need to be entertained. I need something cool. I need something good. So if the conversation's not good, all right, let me go to my phone. Let's see. Instagram. Now TikTok. Oh, TikTok's good. All right. Yep. Let's see. One more. What else? Oh, this is good. That's the whole day.
I mean, I don't know. But okay, speaking of entertainment, there was an interesting fact that I found. So how many zombie movies do you think have been made? So I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was from 1968, which is when the genre took off.
Okay.
When they started making more movies like that, like Return of the Living Dead, I think was the movie. How many zombie movies do you think they've made until now?
Okay, I would guess 100.
100?
200.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you, you're way off. 7,900 zombie movies. Of course, we're talking even low budget.
Any movies, yes.
Any
but
zombie
still,
movies. 7,900 zombie movies.
Wow.
And I was like, what? I don't know. So I started looking at titles, and I found that was, they have Night of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. They have Juan of the Dead. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm sure it's a comedy. They have a I've seen a couple of these. I haven't seen many. They don't.
What's your
interest me enough.
favorite zombie movie? I think I know the answer.
Okay, favorite movie or show? I never watched a show. Let me get this straight.
Movie over.